So for the salad bar, we've also got some grated carrot. So I'm going to peel my carrot. Don't do too much of these sorts of vegetables, just do enough for what you need for the day. No need to do too much, it's very quick, very simple. Top the ends off. I'm just going to get a grater, and we're just going to grate the carrot. Careful, a little bit away. Alright, so salad bar, grated carrot. Better than chopped, to give you a nicer, softer texture to it. Okay, so we want the carrot grated and not chopped. Okay. Next thing we will have some mixed peppers. So I only want a little bit of this. So with the peppers, it's about presentation. We're going to take the top off and the bottom off. These bits we can keep, we use them, give them back to the kitchen. Main kitchen, we use them for cooking. So don't throw them away. You can just chop them up just like that and then pass them back to the main kitchen and they can use them in their cooking. Okay, so I've got 2 green peppers to 1 red pepper. Okay, that will go to the kitchen. Okay, so back to our peppers. We're going to go through the centre. We're just going to go gently round with the knife. We're going to take out that centre. Same with the red pepper, and go through, take out that centre, okay. And then we are going to chop skin side down. We're just going to chop them, not too thin, not too fat, just into little battens. That. This same cut that we're using here for the salad bar, these same peppers we use on the teppanyaki noodle bar. So this is a two things. If it's not selling on the salad bar, it needs to be used up, fine. Take it across and use it up on the teppanyaki bar. You cook it on there. Okay, it's exactly the same cut, same process for teppanyaki and for salads. Do a little mix. That's our chopped peppers for salads or for teppanyaki. Okay, next one, cucumber, sliced cucumber. Okay, so I'm going to take off the end. These bits we can keep it. We're going to make pasta or something like that. I can use these little bits in the pasta later, so don't throw anything away. Take my cucumber. Again, I'm going to take that top off. I'll keep that. I'll use that in pasta later. I'm going to take my potato peeler. I'm just going to run it down. I'm going to miss a gap. I'm going to run it down again. Miss a gap. Run it down again. Miss a gap. Run it down again. That'll just give a little bit of a pattern on our sliced cucumber, just to make it look a little bit special. After all, it's a fairly boring thing anyway, so I probably won't chop all of this. I'll probably chop about half. We're not going to go too thin, we're not going to go too fat. We just want nice chunks of cucumber. Too thin, they'll go to water and they won't last very long. Too fat, wasting cucumber. chunks, nice little chunks, like that. Like I said, I'll probably do about half the cucumber at a time into a bowl. Chopped cucumber for the salad. This we can cling film, date it, and put it in the fridge. Use it later tonight or tomorrow. Okay, next thing, we've got two sorts of salad. We can either use this one or we can use this one, depending on how big your salad bar is and what you get in stock, really. This one's very easy. You just open the bag, pour it into a bowl, job done. If it's the iceberg lettuce, you need to open it, have a good look at the lettuce. You might find that top leaf there is a little bit yellow and a little bit tough, so we'll just remove that top one. We won't use that. Have a little look around the bottom. You see any yellow bits like that, just trim them off. Use your knife, just trim any little bad bits off. Have a look round. Okay, so this is all rubbish. Now we're going to get our lettuce. We're going to chop it in half into the centre, and then we're just going to chop it into nice big wedges. The centre of the lettuce, this little bit here, we can take that out. This little bit. Okay, and then we can get a bigger bowl. Use that for the leaves or for the lettuce, either or. Don't really need both. In we go. Again, I wouldn't serve too much at one time. Half a lettuce, I can always put some more in later. Okay, so I've wrapped some cling film, put a date on it, put it in the fridge. That's our lettuce. Okay, next, usually we have some red onions, but we haven't got any red onions in stock, so I'm going to use a small white onion. I've already peeled it. I'm just going to chop it up, and I'm going to check for any little bad bits like that, just shave them off. Okay. Now the thing with the onion is you do want it quite thin. Nobody wants to eat great big chunky bits of onion on a salad. It's too harsh a flavour. So we're going to go nice and thin, and we're just going to go across the grain this way. So a little bit different from traditional cuts, because usually you go this way and stuff like that. But this time we're going to go across. Okay. So we just want little semicircles. Like that, right across, nice and thin. Right. That root on the end, we can take that out. Okay, and we're just gonna break that up. Like that. And we've got some nice slithers of onion. So again, I probably wouldn't do a whole lot, depending on how busy, just half, put half in the fridge, keep for later. Okay. The other things that we've got on the salad bar are the tomatoes. So tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, very simple. I've already given these a wash earlier. But basically, you give them a wash, let them dry out, put them in a bowl. Don't chop them, just like that in a salad bowl. Okay, just serve straight like that. The other things that we have on the salad bar are pickled onions. Okay, so different varieties, different types of pickled onions. They're all basically the same thing. Little silver skins. Okay. Again, we're going to try and keep some of that vinegar, and we're just going to put some on. Okay, take some of that vinegar out. Okay, there, that's fine, because we've just got a little bit of vinegar with our pickled onions. Okay, so you can see we're now getting a collection of salad. We did make the coleslaw earlier. Where did I put my coleslaw? Coleslaw as well. Okay. Next thing is olives. Okay. I've noticed in quite a lot of the branches what we're doing is we're doing green and black olives separately. We're not supposed to. They should be mixed together, olives. So we've got green, we've got black. Okay, just open them up. Ideally, when you do the olives, you should be coating them with a little bit of olive oil, but I do know that the fridges, a lot of them are very cold, like they are here in St Helens. If you do put the olive oil on, it will go cold and thick in the fridge, so it's fine to keep it in the water. Get a mixture. Some green. And we'll take some black. Okay, mix it together. Okay, don't put too many out. Again, you can see it looks a lot nicer than just separately. We've got those nice colours. You see the salad, the colours are all starting to shine out now. As well as that, what have we got? Okay, we've got sweet corn. Sweet corn, what I've done is I've opened the can, not very difficult. Drain the water off. Very important to drain the water off. I'm just going to put a bit of sweet corn in a bowl, just like that. Sweet corn. Okay. Next thing is beetroot. Now, your beetroot will come in all different things. It could come in ready sliced, it could come in big bits, or in this case, it can come in baby. If that happens, do that. In this case, it's coming in little rounds like that. Now they're too big to serve like that, so we do need to chop them. Okay. Again, I'm not going to put a lot out. Take our beetroot. Okay. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to slice it up to a bit more manageable pieces. Okay, little slices, just like that. Very, very good for your blood pressure, beetroot. Chop it up. Okay, into a bowl. Okay, beetroot. Okay. Alright, next we have, I'm running out of bowls, but we do already have a salad bar set up. Next we have new arrival, we have the jalapeno peppers. Okay, jalapenos. Now that's probably maybe a little big, I might go in a smaller bowl, so think about how things are selling. I'll go in a smaller bowl with this. So, I'm just going to open it up. I particularly like jalapenos. Okay. There we go. You don't need a lot. A few jalapenos. Little bit of that juice. There we go. We've got some jalapenos. Alright, so another item is you've got these tortilla chips. Okay, so tortilla chips, again for your salad bar. Very easy. Don't put too many out at a time. Into a little dish. Tortilla chips. Keep the bag folded up, ready for use otherwise it will soft. Another item, croutons. Croutons, don't put too big of a bowl out. So we've got the little breaded croutons. Again, not too much. A little bit out. Okay. Again, wrap that up. If you had an elastic band, I don't have one to have, but a little elastic band to hold that would be better as well. And then the favourite is the smoky bacon bits. Okay, we all like these. So these, again, we're not going to put too much out at a time. All going on your salad bar. Open it. Just a few. Just like the croutons. Okay, little teaspoons in these so people can help themselves to. Okay, so that's those. And then we've got, so for the salad bar as well, we also have some new sauces. Okay, we've got a classic dressing, Hellmann's dressing. We've got a French dressing. We've got a Caesar dressing. We've got Thousand Island dressing. Now, With these dressing, they can go in here. At the moment, I think we're going to look for something better, something nicer. But if you haven't got space or anything like that, then you can use these little squirty bottles to put them in. Make sure that you stick a label on the front of the thing. Ask me, and I'll send them to you, and stick them across the front to say what they are. Here, I've got some little bowls. I'm going to put them in some little bowls because they'll fit on the salad bar, and I think it'd be nicer for to help yourself. So you can get these. I got these from Tesco's, £1 for 2. So I'm just going to put some into the little bowls. So we've got our Thousand Island. Not too much. These sauces like this, make sure you do give them a shake, especially the vinaigrettes. Caesar dressing. We've got our classic Hellmann's dressing. And last but not least, we've got a French dressing. It should be a bit more vinegary. This is more of a vinaigrette. So if you have a label and it's got the vinaigrette on it, it's referring to this, which is the French classic dressing. Yeah. Yeah, more vinegary. Alright, so we've got Thousand Island sauce, Caesar sauce, or vinaigrette or French dressing, and our classic dressing. Okay? Okay, now we're going to make a coleslaw. Coleslaw is better made the day before if possible, because it allows the salts in the mayonnaise to act with the cabbage, which softens it a little bit, and it makes it a little bit more creamy and a bit more tasty. However, you can use it fresh on the day, okay? Either way. We're going to use white cabbage, and we're going to use carrot. That's the only ingredient, and mayonnaise, a little bit of syrup that go into the coleslaw. I've got a nice white cabbage here. I've already chopped one earlier. I'm going to chop it to these fine shreds like this. Okay, the way we're going to do this is we're going to chop straight down the centre of the cabbage, like that. Chop it into 2 halves. We're then going to take our 2 halves and we're going to chop them into quarters. Okay, like that. Okay. Now if we look inside, these ones are quite open. Sometimes they're very, very tight inside. Now, if they're very, very tight, you take out that centre bit. So we're going to cut, and we're going to take that stem out there, okay? If it was very, very tight, we take out that little, that's fallen out anyway, we take out that little bit from the centre. We don't want these bits. So these bits go away. We're left with a piece like this. So we're going to go through, we're going to do that same with all 4 pieces. Take out the middle and that little bit. Same on here, and then we're through, take that out, that little bit, and the same on here, that little bit. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to finally shred it. So we're going to put our quarter down, we're going to give it a little push, we're going to take our knife, and we're just going to shave from the top. Nice and thin. All the way through. Once we've got that, they're a little bit long, so what I'm going to do is going to line them up and I'm just going to chop it down the centre. Okay? So we've got nice little slithers of coleslaw. Don't want it too chunky, not too big, into our tray. Okay? Going to do that with all of them. Okay, just going to chop them up. again, I'm just going to cut it down the centre in half, and then we go. On the next one. Across and down the middle. And last one. Be careful of your fingers when we're doing this, okay? When we're chopping, what I'm actually doing is I'm keeping the tips of my fingers tucked in, and that knife is resting on those knuckles there, you can see that. So I'm keeping my paws cupped in, and I'm resting there, and I'm going across like that. Okay. Alright, so in here I've got two fairly small white cabbage. We can see the size of them, fairly two. So for each cabbage, roughly about 1 carrot. If I chop it and I think it needs a bit more carrot, I'll add a bit more. So 1 cabbage, roughly 1 carrot. So my carrot, I've already peeled it. I'm going to take my carrot, again I just want to go across diagonally. Nice thin little slithers. Right away. The root at the end I don't want, I'm going to throw that away. Okay. From there I'm going to chop it again, nice and thin. Okay, I'm going to take our carrot, have a look at the size. Yes, I will probably go again, once down the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to add that to my cabbage one. Okay, so yes, I'm going to go one more. I've got 2 cabbages in there, so I'm going to take that little tip off that there. I'm going to chop down. Tip off. And then over that this way. Okay, and then I'm going to go again down there and in we go. Okay, so have a little look now, so we can mix that in. We can just look how the colours are working out. If we need a bit more carrot, we can add a little bit more carrot. Now, to me, that looks perfect. Okay, so we've got the little speckles of the carrot within the cabbage. Okay, so to that, we need to add mayonnaise. Don't overdo it on the mayonnaise, because this will, as I said, overnight, when the salt penetrates into the cabbage, it will draw out the water and it will become very liquidy and watery. So we just want enough to bind it. This mayonnaise, if you're using this, you'll find it's not very nice, it's a bit bitter. So for this, and also because of the cabbage is a bitter taste, I like to add a little bit of syrup to that as well. So I've got some syrup. This is the syrup that's already been diluted with the water that we use on the buffet. I've got roughly about 3 tablespoons of syrup in there, and I'm going to add that to the mix later. So I'm going to take my mayonnaise and have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take 5 straight away. We add a little bit of syrup. Here we go with that. And then we'll mix it up and we'll see how we do. If we need a bit more mayonnaise, we'll have a look. Okay, we are going to need a bit more mayonnaise. Use this. Alright, so we've probably got, what was that? 6 or 7 spoons. 8, I think. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You can see that. I don't want too much sauce because it is going to draw out overnight. So we can see it's just binding together now. Okay. It's all mixed in. Okay, good. Now, as I said, it's better if we do it overnight, but we can serve it straight away. So if I get a bowl, I'll take some of my nice fresh coleslaw. Don't put too much out at a time, just a little bit like that. We can always put more out. And then that is ready to go on our salad bowl. So now we're going to make the tuna mayonnaise. For this the ratio is 1 can of tuna, okay, to 3 cans of sweet corn. 1 to 3. Okay, very important we get all the juice out of this tuna. So the first thing, I open the can, I'm going to hold the lid and I'm going to pour it into a colander. I'm going to squeeze it down. Carefully, don't slip, obviously. Squeeze it down as hard as we can. Get as much juice out as we possibly can from that tuna. Lid off. Tuna into the colander. I've got a bowl ready here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze. I'm going to squeeze all the juice out of that tuna. I want it as dry as I can possibly get it. A good squeeze. There's a lot of juice in there. If you don't get that juice out, what will happen is it will come back up once we have the mayonnaise, and you put it out, what you'll notice is you'll have a really watery tuna and mayonnaise, which is horrible, which is very off-putting. We need to get all that juice out. Okay. That's fine, nice and dry. So we're going to go in with our tuna. Okay, sweet corn, same thing. Of course, we've got water in there, so we want to push that water out as much as we can, squeeze it down, get all the juice out. We go in with our sweet corn. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we can get rid of that. So, now we need mayonnaise. Big spoon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 big spoons of mayonnaise. Mix it all in. Don't put onion in this, or spring onion, or anything else. It's just plain as it is tuna sweet corn. Okay. So you can see it's not too mayonnaisey. Nice consistency. The water may come out a little bit, but that's why we don't put too much out at a time. Make sure you keep going back and stir it. But the amount of times I go around and I see tuna mayo swamped in mayonnaise, it should be like that. That's how it's supposed to look. Alright, so we're going to take our tuna mayo into that bowl. go. Chew them out, ready for our salad bar.